I'm Doug Wright. I'm a lifelong resident of the state of Utah. I've been in broadcasting for 42 years in this community. Governor, I'm humbled by this invitation, and I'm humbled at the audience that I am with and the people up here on the stand. I've never seen an issue like this. In 42 years in broadcasting, in my life here in Utah, with family ties that go back to the very beginning, I've never seen anything quite like this, and it distresses me. I've never seen the emotions so high. I got an email the other day from someone who said, I like your show and I think you're a good guy, but, and it said, remove all illegals from the USA now. Our feelings are at a boiling point. We don't care what's politically correct. We don't want to hear what the crime rates really are. We don't want to hear that they pay taxes. We don't want to hear bleeding heart liberal stances. We don't want to hear that illegals are not criminals. We don't want to hear that they're being illegally here is like a speeding ticket. We don't want to hear how the situation we got into happened. We want them gone now. That underscores, I think, the challenge that we have. But around this table and in this audience, I've heard some amazing ideas. I've heard terrific thoughts. I've heard things that I believe could work. But to draw on the Attorney General's analysis of the Golden Spike, I think we're laying a lot of rails right now that are almost parallel to each other. That happened up on Promontory Summit. It's time to bring the rails together, and I think this group can do that.
Thanks, Doug. Following Doug Wright's like following LeBron James making his free agency announcement. Governor, thank you for the invitation. My name is Sean Reyes. I'm an attorney at the law firm of Parsons, Bailey, and Latimer, and a member of the American Bar Association National Advisory Council. I'm going to take a seat, though. Just quickly, the federal government has neglected this issue and abdicated its responsibility, and that neglect has led to real everyday consequences and an impact on the lives of all Americans, but most notably to those in the immigrant communities. In that vacuum, I believe it is right and necessary to address these issues as a state to the extent that the Constitution allows it. And I think the Constitution allows it if we avoid granting citizenship, deportation, and border enforcement, which are federal issues. If we frame these issues rather in terms of not pure immigration issues, but state health and safety issues, local law enforcement issues, and local economic and licensing issues, I think we have a chance to come up with a workable consensus solution. A mechanism, whatever that might be, to allow residents to come out of the shadows will allow them to be safer and less vulnerable, eliminate incentives for false identification, encourage them to report crimes, making us all safer, more likely to pay taxes, and let us keep our vital workforce that we need. But let me emphasize this. Legality does not equal citizenship and does not place them ahead of those who are standing in line for citizenship. It does not prevent cracking down on felonious elements. It does not prevent us, if we choose to impose a fine or mandate English. It does not, in summary, disrespect the law. Utah, in its inimitable pioneer spirit, can lead out and provide a template for the country. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor. It's good to be here and part of this discussion. I'm Randy Parker, CEO of the Utah Farm Bureau. We're the state's largest farm and ranch organization. For a number of years, farmers and ranchers have faced a continuing shortage of workers willing and able to work in our fields, orchards, and on our farms. Agriculture needs a stable and legal workforce. Jobs in agriculture are physically demanding, needed in various seasons of the year, and often transitory. We agree that it is the responsibility of the national government. We believe the system is broken, as witnessed by how many states are stepping up and passing laws. We believe we need to secure our borders as a first step. We would recommend enactment of a guest worker program that allows foreign workers to legally enter the United States, provide a service, return to their home country, and with the assurance that someday they can return legally in the future to offer that service again. The H-2A program is bureaucratic and expensive. Delays are costing Utah farmers and ranchers. One rancher reported to me recently the death of 300 of his lambs because his Peruvian herders were delayed 30 days during the critical spring lambing period. Government bureaucracy and a broken immigration system is causing stress and economic losses to our farmers and ranchers in the state of Utah. Thank you, Governor.
Governor David Layton, President of Layton Construction, here representing the construction industry. Thank you for your leadership in pulling this group together. Much like Randy's industry, our industry relies heavily on the immigrant worker. And in our particular case, as a major employer in the construction industry, we have a number of Hispanic workers. We've gone to great efforts to ensure that they are here legally. But I want to communicate that our industry relies on these workers. We cannot accomplish what we are asked to do without an immigrant workforce. I think the legitimate employers in the construction industry want to make sure that our employees are here legally. These employees are of high value to us. They're part of our family. They're dependable. They're loyal. They're hardworking. And again, we respect them as we do all of our employees. I'd like to applaud your guiding principles, and in particular, I'd like to draw attention to point number 3. I believe a legitimate employer, a law-abiding employer, is willing to take reasonable steps to ensure that our employees are here legally. And I think that the public sector can add to ensuring that these types of legal practices do, in fact, take place. I would also like to encourage more roundtables of this nature, particularly in the private sector, in industries where we are employing immigrant workers. I think it would be beneficial to your efforts. Thank you.